Well, thank you for being here so late, especially. This is way past my bedtime, and I don't know about you. I know it's way past Marlon's bedtime.
I am asleep. I just appear to be awake.
Marlon usually gets up at 3 a.m., so we're going to put that in perspective. Thanks for being here. We certainly hope you enjoyed the short. You may know we produced that in the Rhode Valley for essentially no money. And the first thing is, I guess, is there anyone from the cast or crew here tonight? There were quite a few at the Saturday screenings. I don't know if anyone was here. But, they were all volunteers, so it was really wonderful to get everyone together to put this together on really no budget. So I very much appreciate that. So, and just want to thank the Ashland Independent Film Festival for allowing us to be here and to screen here in the home area like this. We have been Rhode Island, LA, Bend, and someplace else. And we're up in Salem in 2 weeks, so I should mention that. So if you know have any friends in Salem in 2 weeks, tell them to go to the Salem Film Festival, and the Northwest Emerging Artists session is where Model Rules will screen. And also I have a feature that all 6 of them when I came there will do later that evening at the Salem Film Festival as well. So
that's on the 18th.
Maybe you have friends up there on the
Saturday
18th. So, this is the last Q&A, so this is your last chance to ask any questions.
Did you make this story up, or were you a model?
No, I'm a model now. It was something I thought about doing but didn't. The story came out of somebody had told me about a flash fiction contest online, which is 500 words or less. You can write in any style. And I had mentioned it to a friend of mine who I'd done some writing with. I thought that'd be an interesting exercise to do. And so he said, well, I always liked that idea you had about being an artist model. It was just an idea I had about 5 years ago, and I never pursued it. And I said, oh, yeah. So I hung up the phone, and 45 minutes later, I had a 488-word story. Wow. Gave it to Ray. He called me up, and he said, let's have coffee. And I said, sure, which we had been doing for about 3 years, meeting for coffee. And he said, I want to do this. I said, me too. It was, yeah, he read between the lines of what I wrote. It was very simple. It wasn't something I sat and rewrote over or anything. I just wrote it and that was it. I just left it alone. And
as you notice, no dialogue, which I guess that's one of the things I really liked about this. It had absolutely no dialogue. And I always had this thoughts of creating a movie that transcends our written and spoken languages, where anyone around the world can watch it and get really just as much out of it as anyone else on any part of the world. And so I think we accomplished that with this piece. So, there's another question up here.
Oh yeah, I love the shoes. I love that whole idea. It's so simple, but so,
yeah, well, it was just very funny how that came about, because when I started to write it, I was sitting in front of my computer. You can't stand and do computer very well, so I just sort of became this model in the chair, and I suddenly found myself turning and looking, and I thought, this woman longs for some sort of connection. And so she just starts with the shoes to see, well, who's here this week? I mean, that's what was going through my head. Well, who's here this week? Yeah, there's the loafer. I mean, not the loafers. There's the sandals and the tennies and whatever. And then all of a sudden, here's somebody.
And I guess we haven't mentioned this, but since we have a local audience, the man in the loafers is Michael Isaacson, who used to own Genesee Place in Medford, the restaurant. I know.
Really?
And he went there.
And then he was.
I didn't recognize his shoes.
Well, actually, his wife went out and bought those shoes for this. We went through his closet and couldn't find anything we liked, or Marlon thought. And so she said, well, I'll go out and buy some. So,
hard to find Italy in Medford.
And curious enough, when we had our first screening at this theater, Marlon and I were sitting up there, and we were sitting next to a woman, and I remember you going, looking at her shoes, oh, those are wonderful shoes, and then we're watching this, and I'm going, oh yeah, she's got this thing on shoes, apparently.
Well, I have bad feet, and I can't wear pretty shoes, so I want those shoes.
You had the rules in French, and then English subtitles as opposed to vice versa for a European audience to have it in English with French subtitles. Can you just comment on that?
Well, and that's probably one of the most common questions, and it really was originally, when we started shooting this and working on it, it was going to be in English, but I guess I tend to evaluate everything and rethink everything. You know, why are we doing this? And it was like, well, why does it need to be in English? There is no dialogue. You know, let's go ahead and make it French with English subtitles. You know, the language of love, for one thing. But it was like, there's no reason for it to be English just because I speak English. Why should this be in English? So, and I guess partly being just so aware that we could change those 3 little graphics to any language and show it in any country, and you know, then it would be that language. But so I thought, well, why does the English need to be the dominant language in this? So.
And we did make it into 2 international film festivals. So I thought it was a brilliant idea on his part. When I saw it, I went, oh my God, what made you think of that? And he was like, well, and what he just explained to you. But I thought it was just a brilliant idea. And I thought it really, I don't know, something about the French, it just really classed it up. And I did not want it to look like an American or a Hollywood film. That was the one thing I said to, not just Ray, but to the cameraman. I said, I said, I'm staying out of this, but I just don't want it to look like a Hollywood slick film.